What? Oh, what is this water above water? Oh, you can go down into the depths. Okay.
I kind of pointed out like what looked weird. Like this kind of looks weird.
Went into the water and my game froze.
Is this like a fish overseer? I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening.
He tried it.
So yeah, didn't really go too well, did it? Listen, I don't want to be the person gloating here because, of course, you know my opinions of Aquatica. In fact, if anything, it really truly sucks how this launch went for not just the community, but, of course, the developers that helped to create this game. It wasn't the greatest launch that we hoped. One thing that you've got to acknowledge is it actually arrived on time. A unprecedented moment in ARK's history, at least we can see that. But with a wonder, sometimes maybe delays are needed for reasons because, well, upon launch whereby it was confirmed you'd only be able to join Aquatica official servers, no other maps allowed. In doing so, somehow broke all other maps, all other server providers, and all other mods. Pandemonium was at its peak with ARK Survival Evolved, so much so that we found the lowest player count that ARK Survival Evolved has ever had, ever. Not least to mention a wealth of bugs, which I guess is traditional with any ARK map launch, but this one allowing you to actually join servers without owning the DLC and seeing absolutely nothing, just creatures and characters, unharvestable resources, stone breaking, better than Giga's creatures. The list goes on everything that went wrong day one, so much so that an overwhelmingly negative review score was provided on launch with, yeah, maybe some definite review bombing there. Of course, there's quite a few people out there that didn't want Aquatica to work, whatever the case, but some of these reviews speak for themselves, identifying the mod issues, the abundance of servers unable to run ARK Survival Evolved post Aquatica launching, and some really severe performance issues. The one thing that ARK Survival Evolved players could at least lean on in the want to play a version of ARK that was at least stable for them. And whilst there was a lot of theories surrounding this all being done on purpose in order to move players over to ASA, it does seem to be a genuine mistake. The developers behind this, Siren Studios, a seemingly relatively new team to the game with their only active project currently being back-to-back an Android two-player co-op game with one other called Nightwatch in the works, being at the helm to make this happen with what seemed to be a real bare-bones skeleton staff, with level designer Swell explaining there were around 10 developers during its tiny production window, of which some of that 10 were hit by layoffs during its production, but proud of what they had achieved, showcasing a bunch of new end grabs and items with their launch stream, where we got to chat as well. Further insight into the passion from the team here, which was seemingly quite obvious. All, in my opinion, led to what was a very butchered launch, unfortunately, and of course a overwhelmingly amount of angry folk that were either using mods or even developing mods, because while there was a bit of a conversation there during this launch stream, it was confirmed, and I think in a Discord post the night before within the Aquatica Discord, that all mods would require updating as a result of Aquatica launching. And well, the problem there is without an active updated dev kit for any modders to get a hold of, even if they're going to do that, because let's be honest, the dev kit is absolutely huge and many modders have moved on to ARK Survival Ascended now. Are any of those going to go back to ARK Survival Evolved? But even if they do, they've got to wait for this dev kit to arrive to update anything, and that could be God knows when. But fortunately, I guess resolution was provided in allowing any players to opt into a branched version of launching ARK Survival Evolved that was called Pre-Aquatica when you go through to betas in launching your Steam game, and that would seemingly in turn, of course, disable access to Aquatica, but at least allow you to recover the mods you might have lost if you launched ARK post this. And whilst a quick turnaround to fix this issue was welcomed, is it really the time to be saying, well, you can still buy Aquatica now and play it later once the fixes have been made? And with many more fixes to still worked through, it was confirmed that Sirens, who developed this, are here to stay in the Arkverse, and then being honoured to join the team, where they're seemingly alluding that more DLC could be around the corner in a comment within that dev live stream that somebody said if you find Error Explorer notes to get a hint at the next project through the team, which could be another Ark Survival Evolved DLC. But all, of course, under the helm of publishers, owners, Snail Games, just like Wildcard, to which I don't think Wildcard took too kindly to, because in the same launch window dropped a bit of a backhanded tweet. It was kind of in support of the trailer which was made by Jukari, and a great trailer at that, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But no mention of the actual map, just Snail Games' latest product, which they'd double down on in their Discord announcement to explain the ARK Survival Ascended Discord is for the game that Studio Wildcard is working on. And if you'd like to discuss Evolve, then go and check out Snail Games' new product. Join their Discord there. Which, come on, it was pretty clear by now there was a division between the two parties here, with, I'm guessing, Wildcard wanting absolutely nothing to do with Aquatica because of the obvious cash grab that it is. But again, it's not to diminish the developers involved with this. In fact, I'd say there's some great ideas being brought with Aquatica. I've been watching quite a few videos on people playing this, and the overwhelming set of new creatures to try out and test, and their new taming mechanics, the bunch of new engrams, new structure, tile set pieces. Almost every armor or weapon has been overhauled to fit within this Aquatica theme. A bunch of new giant Titan-like creatures, a brand new monstrous boss if you can get through to the arena and complete it properly without the credits rolling straight away, and some interesting takes on existing creatures to provide these Aquatica variants, and on top of that, mutations. Even player models got a refreshing overhaul, allowing you to look more Aquaman than human, with a lot of creative biomes to explore. A lot of promise without a doubt with this, but from what I understand in launching this, there was a lot of base code missing, and this is why other maps were completely unplayable day one. And why, honestly, I think this post-Aquatica required patch that allows you to play with mods with Aquatica is going to take a very, very long time. And as a result, we're seeing a bombardment of refunds, a bombardment of negative reviews. Is this perhaps the worst DLC launch we've ever seen? Maybe. Has this damaged Ark's reputation across the board? Definitely. But is it repairable? Is it recoverable? I think so. Again, I do think the team that have helped to make this happen are a talented bunch. They've looked at what ARK Survival Evolved is and attempted to introduce their own lore, their own takes on existing mechanics, but I do feel they're going to be learning the hard way on balancing those mechanics. The reports I'm hearing of narwhals breaking through stone structures, for example, is one big issue. And it is fresh to see an ARK DLC map where players seemingly are learning from the ground up on what to do, on how to survive this, because everything is brand new. Okay, apart from the assets with a lot of Extinction and Genesis structures obviously woven all through the map. But despite my opinions on this DLC existing at all, this could have been possibly a great launch. And I hope, if anything, Wildcard are looking very closely at this and what Studio Sirens have created to hopefully potentially be employed by the team, or even influence what's yet to come for ARK Survival Ascended. Either way, this all still sits under owners that are looking for a quick buck in the quickest amount of time. With Snail Games' latest projects being a cryptocurrency announcement, say it all. If anything, if you're a modder involved, a player affected, Studio Sirens have been quite open and honest in their tweets and encouraging you to like as many tickets as you possibly can for them to get through. I'm kind of worried though with the small team that they've got, how on earth they're going to get through all of these tickets in the quick succession that they need to. But seeing that traditionally dev kit updates don't happen until like a month after a map's released, this overarching mod-breaking issue could be the complete end of ARK Survival Evolved if it isn't already. I'll see you in the next one. My name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.